Alright, so today I'm going to be servicing my G37. I'm going to be doing power steering fluid, I'm going to be changing the engine oil, doing transmission fluid, let's see, differential fluid, as well as brake fluid. I wanted to do coolant today, but I forgot to bring the other jug, so I'm not going to be able to do that today. I'm going to be using this bitch right here. Mighty Vac suck out the old fluid, so I want vacuum. Gonna be able to see it come out. It actually looks pretty clear. Top it off with some OEM. And then I'm going to turn the steering wheel left and right. Turn it a couple times, lock the lock, and then basically just going to repeat that cycle a couple of times. Alright, so that's power steering done. Total was 3 bottles. Now I'm going to end up draining the brake fluid since I'm already down here. But I ain't gonna lie, it looks like someone already kind of serviced it because the fluid is pretty bright. It shouldn't be green, I don't think. Okay, so the fluid that was in there was definitely not right. It should look clear, not green. So before I start bleeding the brakes and stuff, I'm going to drain the oil. So let's see, it should be a 14, which it is. Also, your car will probably have a similar cover to this. It was just a couple 10 millimeters that you'll have to take off the axis. Oil pan, just with a simple claw tool. This is what I use for all my oil filters. Glue point. Loosen it up. Oil actually doesn't look as clean as I thought it would. It doesn't look super dirty, but it also doesn't look super clean. What the fuck? Okay. Here's the filter. Always put oil on the seal. I don't know about pre-filling. I don't know about that shit. Got that seal lubed up. Hand tight. Should be good. Damn, it just got on there. Man, that fucking bolt. Hate it when that shit happens. Yeah, this shit does not look clean at all. I wonder if they even did the oil change, because it says like oil, next oil change like 68,000 miles and it has like 65. So I wonder how long they've been on this oil, because it doesn't look super clean to me. I mean, it's not like black. It does kind of smell like like pretty used oil, but it's not too bad, but it ain't the best. Just spray down around the oil filter. Yeah, just let this drain. While that drains, I end up doing the, what's it called? I'm gonna bleed the brakes. So yeah. So for bleeding brakes, you're gonna have like a couple methods. You'll have vacuum bleeding, pressure bleeding, gravity bleeding. I'm gonna use vacuum. If you're gonna use vacuum, make sure you have that tip, and you're always gonna start at the wheel or at the caliper that's farthest away from the reservoir. I'm gonna start on the back passenger wheel. Pretty much just crack that loose and then crack that bleeder screw loose and leave it on there for a couple seconds. It's always important that if you're gonna do vacuum bleeding, don't ever let it run for like extended periods of time, because if the reservoir ends up getting empty, which is not something that you want, it'll end up introducing air into the system, and then you'll have to bleed it again. I'm not really trying to bleed it as much as I'm just trying to flush the fluid out. I know probably pressure bleeding would be better for that, but I don't have a pressure bleeder. Well, I guess we do, but it's not for Nissans. But you're gonna need, if it focuses, what is it, 8mm? 8mm. And just crack it loose first. Spacing here isn't really that great, but there you go. I have it broken loose and just retighten it a little bit, and then I'll end up putting on the hose. And then pretty much just do this process for every single wheel until you get to that one, and always ensuring that the reservoir never gets fully empty. So yeah. Also, don't ever lose these, so that prevents it from rusting up. So there you go. Also, I just realized as well, I would definitely suggest testing the brakes just to be sure that it is good, because I have had past experiences where I've done vacuum bleeding before and it doesn't work the way that it should. Like the pedal would still feel squishy afterwards, or it would feel worse. Alright, so right now I'm flushing out all this shit from the Mighty Vac. I just ended up removing the lid and spraying in some brake clean, and then I just ended up putting some water inside just to flush out any of the old fluids. Pretty much, you don't want to use solvents for this, because inside there has a whole bunch of seals and shit, and you don't want them deteriorating. So you can clean the tank with brake clean, but once you clean the tank, make sure to wash out all that brake clean, and then you can just put water in here. Well, at least that's what I'm doing, because I'm going to be using this for my transmission, so I want to make sure there's no fluid contamination or anything. Okay, for the transmission drain and refill, I'm going to be using this to make sure that I measure in how much I took out. That way I know how much to put in, that way I'm not guessing. Look at that sunset. But yeah, I'm hoping that little straw, I mean, it should be small enough. It should be small enough to fit in there. Should be. So this is your drain, and then this is your refill. So let's see how much comes out. Alright, so here's the transmission fluid. Right now we're at 2 quarts. The fluid looks actually not too bad. You can kind of see through it a little bit, so pretty happy about that. This car does only have 65,000 miles, so it's about that time where it needed it. Right now we're at 3 quarts. From what the videos I've seen, it's probably going to be like around 4 quarts, or maybe not. We'll see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, simple as this. Just drain and refill. I would never recommend flushing any transmission. Like if you get to the point where you have to flush your transmission, like you already fucked up. It's kind of like your engine. Like if you had to flush your engine, it's already done. Like you're just wasting your money and your time. So it looks exactly pretty much 4 quarts. Damn near. I'm gonna let it get to 4, and then I'm gonna drain it, and then I'm gonna seal that up, and then I'm gonna open the drain or the refill plug, and then hopefully the straw fits. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to try and figure some shit out, or go to O'Reilly's and buy something. All right, now I can close it, cause now it's dripping. Where is drain plug? I'm not gonna end up replacing the washer, because it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Get my hands all dirty. Alright. Just as a reference, this is what your transmission fluid should look like. Bright red. I'm gonna end up letting this run just a little bit, that way it gets out like any water or anything. I did dry out the inside with a cloth. I got some water on the edges here, but should be okay. Alright, some good news and bad news. Bad news is I ended up stripping that one out. Let me see. Sadly. Good news is that this straw actually fits. So I'm just gonna fill it up, fill up the 4 quarts, and then go from there. Alright, I ended up using a extractor socket that I had, so sucks, but it is what it is. New replacement right here. New replacement. Puro pinche out with the old and then with the new. Might have to tighten it a little bit more, but should be alright. This is, I think, like, yeah, we're 2 days after trans service, or 2 days after the clips that you were just seeing. But I ended up servicing the trans, and then I also serviced the differential. Just drain, open this, let it drain, close this, and then refill it from here. You'll know it's level when it starts to spill out. But other than that, this is how the car looks from underneath. Only 65,000 miles. Only 65,000 miles. You can see these are pretty banged up, but that's because the car is so low as it is from the factory. But pretty much has no leaks anywhere. See, that strut has a torn boot, but a lot of struts do. Same on that side. Just your typical Nissan leaks, like power steering rack. I just cleaned it, but that shit was pretty leaky. And then the valve covers, the valve covers up top. But alright, so it's been a couple days. I think it's been a week probably since I serviced it. Right now, today actually, I just serviced the rotors. I cut the rotors, and then I kind of resurfaced the pads because they still had pretty good life on them, and they kind of had a pulsation when braking. But I would say it's probably been a week since those last clips. I've been kind of waiting. Well, I've just been in the process of making the video, like adding things here and there. It has taken me a while, but I'll probably end up uploading 2 videos today. I hope you guys found this video helpful in some way, shape, or form. I would definitely recommend servicing your G37 before doing any kind of performance mods, even if it's just bolt-ons, because I know G37s really don't make that much power with bolt-ons. I would still recommend it. I mean, it's obviously going to be, even if you don't do any modifications, it's always good to service your vehicle. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely expect more videos in the future. I'll see when I'll make a video showing off the car. I might actually do it tomorrow, showing off the car, so I don't really have a way to close this off. BQ power, baby.